Brian Valentine, and welcome back to my video blog without a name. Today we got a weekend wrap-up of sorts, and there's some things I'd like to talk about. First of all, if you didn't know where you could find this blog already, look at youtube.com/rootbeernoice. You find all the videos there and maybe some bonus material that I like to put up after we get through a little bit of this. Okay. First thing we're talk about some Amazing Race, football, Rocky, shout outs, and we're going to talk about what I'm going to get into this week. Different topics I'm going to talk about on the blog. Okay guys, I just saw Amazing Race, and I know there's some of you out there that got to be wondering with me, how can Dan and Andrew still be in this show? It's mind-boggling. I guess what happened was that CBS just did a horrible job of placing the non-elimination leg. So not only did we get stuck with them, but we knew that they were going to get to stay on no matter what kind of idiocy they did this week. And let me tell you, if you didn't see it, go back and get it on channelsurfing.com or something and watch it, because it is just absolutely horrible. Okay? Next week, they're saying that people are going to lose their passports and their money. I wonder who it might be. I'll wait. Go ahead and think about it. Alright? I decided to come up with a few reasons of my own why Dan and Andrew must go. They must go. They're freaking incompetent because they can't read. If they could read, they might be a little bit more competitive. They keep shooting themselves in the foot, and it's just wondering, like, they're bracing on borrowed time right now. Number 3, they went to Arizona State. I mean, like, the only thing I've ever heard about that place is that it produced Jake Plummer. And what's he doing now? He's playing handball in Idaho. They have not only embarrassed themselves, they've embarrassed their school. They make America think that that Arizona State's producing some kind of doofuses. Alright, it must be no Rhythm Nation down there. These guys can't dance, they can't march, they probably can't carry a tune either. Fortunately, they didn't even do that task last week. But now, you know who my final 3 are. We got Dallas and Tony, Nick and Star, and Ken and Tina. That's who it's going to be. Now that once we finally see Dan and Andrew get kicked off, we'll be good to go. Alright? It's a special treat though. We're going to post the Brian Valentine, Brian Linehan audition tape for Amazing Race, and you will see why we would have made a way better team than the boys from Arizona. Because at least we can read. Friend and viewer asked me to talk about why Rocky IV is quite possibly one of the greatest films of all time and the best installment in the Rocky series. I'd be glad to explain that for the people. Number 1, they pulled one of the greatest dupes on the American public ever. Why? Because that movie was not filmed in Russia, my friends. It was filmed in Wyoming. Oh yes, Wyoming, the 44th state of the Union, known as the Equality State. It's the least populated in the country. It's one of the coldest. It's best known for having the first woman governor, giving women the right to vote first out of any state, and a bunch of Rocky training montages as well as ski resorts. It's the greatest of all the Rockies. It makes you proud to be an American. And in times like these, I think everyone's proud to be American. Most of the time, especially now. It was also made in 1985, when such great things as Air Jordans, Nintendo, me, and of course the most fearsome and dominant center in the National Basketball Association, Dwight Howard. All of us came out in 1985, so I mean 1985 was a good year for movies. And most importantly of all, it shows that sometimes you just gotta do it old school. I mean, obviously Rocky lifting rocks and pushing carts and climbing up snow hills beat Ivan Drago's machines and steroid shots and I must break you. Now we must break. What a week in football. Let me tell you what, I saw some thrillers and some spillers and some things I quite didn't expect. Number 1, Texas Tech. Who saw that coming? I guess other people saw it coming. I didn't see that coming at all. But hey, it might benefit Texas Tech in the later run, because somebody's got to play in the Big 12 title game and lose. Alright? UF. Apparently they believe in a diet of cupcakes, and not just at the beginning of the year. They believe in a steady diet of cupcakes, stomping on Citadel's face. It's gonna come back and bite him in the butt this week. Go Knowles, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know already, and if you're in Tallahassee, I know you've heard about it already, but for those of you that are not and know this man, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Smiley got a car. And he's probably, aside from me, he's probably one of the happiest people I've ever seen. So next time you see him in the streets, congratulate him and then ask him for a ride. Aside from things that you guys suggest for the coming week at youtube.com/rootbeerandnoice, I'm going to talk about a couple of topics this week that are sort of pressing and some sort of aren't. Okay? We're going to talk about FSU and UF, one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football. Maybe some of those other rivalries that don't mean quite as much. And I'm going to give it to you right here. The problem with Midwestern college football is coming, and it's pretty simple, but apparently no one's gotten a hold of it, because otherwise Midwestern football will be as good as the rest of the country. Sorry, Midwesterners. Joe the Moose says, keep it chill. Oh yes, Wyoming. And success only comes before work in the dictionary. That's it, baby. Good night. I'm a moose with shades, son.